Well, welcome to this week's episode of Leadership Soundbites with RokoM and Michele. And this week we're going to talk about the power of confidence. And so I do want to kick us off with a quote because Roko and I, we could go a few different ways with this one. And so we were actually trying to find a quote that, I know this sounds crazy, it sounded a little bit sexy because some of them felt a little dry. And yet we knew there was so much to this. Okay, so I can't find my quote now.
It was the superpower.
Here it is. I found it.
Okay.
We're all good. Self-confidence is a superpower. Once you start to believe in yourself, magic starts to happen. So, I mean, there were several others. That's the one that stood out the most for us. And when I think about what that means with regard to leadership and being a leader, I think what happens is we're role models, or at least we're role modeling a behavior, right? So it's not that we're a label, but people are looking. And leadership's not a title. And so it could be that you're that unofficial leader to your peers. And so what happens is if you can step in and demonstrate to people, show people, if you will, that it's okay to step into stuff that you maybe don't have all the boxes checked, don't have all the answers to what it may be, or there's uncertainty because you've been transparent about you're doing a job that you've never done before. That's powerful stuff. And in that confidence, you give other people confidence as well to step into stuff that they may not be 100% sure of. So that's what comes to mind for me.
Yeah, for me, when we first started talking about this, I started to think about my journey after, and it just, you could look back as far as, grade school, but then going into college and starting career, there was always this feeling of being an imposter. Like I wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't smart enough. I didn't have the right skills, or, somebody was always better, or I was comparing myself to others. And I really didn't see the value that I was bringing to the table. And it really, it's so funny that it was so late in life and late in my career. But when we went through the ICF coaching program through UC Davis, we did this exercise where we had to identify what our values were. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't until then that I truly felt confident. Because I started to explore what my values were and like what was the value that I could bring to the table to make me feel like I earned a seat at the table. Mm-hmm. And it's just changed my life in so many different ways as a leader, but also in my personal life. I now feel like, no, I do have worth. I should feel confident about what I bring. Mm-hmm. And so it's about being aware of your own value for me, believing in myself that I have something to give that's valuable in any setting.
You took me in several different directions. I mean, that stuff that pinged for me when you were talking about that. And part of it is one of the things that came up for me is the damage that can happen through comparison, right? Mm-hmm. And especially if we're in situations where we're trying to improve or better or challenge ourselves, we're gonna be in the room with people that are smarter, better. That's how you grow. And if we're stuck in the comparison game, mm-hmm. we're gonna, in our minds, we could potentially fall short. Mm-hmm. And then, to your point, we minimize or disregard the value we bring to the table.
That's right.
And I think, and a lot of stuff resonated for me on that stuff, Roko, because the whole imposter syndrome. I mean, I radically changed careers, mm-hmm. And I did it pretty late in my career. So it's different when you do it when you're in your 20s and you're like, I'm still learning and growing. And I had confidence in my subject matter expertise in finance. And I think what happens is when you're the go-to person for certain information because you've been doing it so freaking long, right? And then you step into a world that you're not the expert. You're like the newbie. You're learning and growing. I think that confidence piece is so critical because it's not that you forget all the previous experience.
Yeah.
You bring that along with you.
Bring it with you.
And in that is, how do you create connections? How do you engage with people? All this stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
So I think it's have confidence in your ability to adapt and learn and grow. And the other part of it is have confidence in what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Because there is value in that.
Yeah.
And so there was just so much that came up because when I think about shifting careers and going through all that stuff and being a coach, it was a long time for me to step in and say, and when people go, what do you do? And I go, it felt too touchy-feely or whatever and stuff. And I thought, I'm a coach. I'm a facilitator. I'm a speaker. Yeah. I do leadership development.
Yeah.
And that took a while for me to be comfortable in those shoes.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is, to your point, it's confidence in me to say, you know what, I may not be as good as them, but I have me that I'm bringing to the table, and I've got my brand or flavor of whatever this may be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know this quote is really long, but to me, it really speaks to what we're just sharing.
Okay. It's not mini War and Peace long. Okay.
No. Okay. So it says, if you have no confidence in self, oh no, that's the wrong one. Where'd it go?
There's a lot of quotes on confidence, people.
I know. Oh, did I lose it?
You didn't lose it, Roko. You can't lose it. It was on spiritual. Is that the?
I know, but where did it go? Oh, I think I lost.
Okay, I'm going to throw one out there while you're looking. All right, so that we don't have just people going, "Why are we watching Roko search for a quote like we did with Michelle earlier?" So here's one. Confidence is not, they will like me. Confidence is, I'll be fine if they don't.
If they don't. I love it. Okay, I found it. So once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight, or any experience that reveals the human spirit.
You know, what came to mind for me when you said that, and what I felt when you said that, is the walls that shield us from fear, hurt, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Go away. They just go away. And so I think part of that is confidence to be who you truly are. I know we talked to Christopher Mack about, in a very powerful episode, about authenticity. And I think that confidence piece helps us be more authentic to ourselves, more true to ourselves. And then the walls go away. And when the walls go away, then people can see who we really are and connect to who we really are. And you go back to the beginning one, and that's where the magic happens.
Yeah. That's it. That's it for me. So as a leader, discovering or practicing or getting your self-confidence, what's the one thing that we could share with them?
So are you asking what I want people to walk away with? I think a big part of it is, and you went back to awareness before, and I know we've done it on awareness, but I think a big part of that, Roko, is in confidence is starting to just look inside yourself and recognize and highlight what you do bring to the table, and get out of the comparison game. Because I think that's the more challenging aspect that we can set ourselves up for. Because if you aspire to being more than what you currently are, you need to surround yourself with people that are more than what you currently are. And so if you're in the comparison game, it's self-defeating. And so step in and recognize and realize what you bring to the table, your unique abilities, and believe in that as being enough.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it's the values. Take the time to really uncover what your values are and what behaviors you're demonstrating that are either going against it or supporting it. Because then you can start to build your confidence when you really understand what your core values are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to add on to that, because there is a fun activity, painful fun activity. As I do with leaders, is start off with the sheet of values, and you can get them everywhere. Reach out to me, ping us, and I'll send you the copy of values. But take it, and it's a sheet of, I think, 17, there'll be 30, I don't know. But circle your top 10, narrow it, do that. Then go down to the top 5, and then go down to the top 3. You can go down to 1 if you want to. I don't think you need to, but out of those top 3, do what Roko just said and say, which ones, what are my behaviors? Or if you have goals that you've set for yourselves, where the values are moving that along, right? That are supporting me in that. And the other is take a look at those values and take a look at what you're doing or what your goals are and say, where is it that these values are barriers, obstacles? And then what adjustments do I need to make so that my values aren't barriers or obstacles? Because barriers or obstacles mean I'm not going to hit it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But ping us, let me know, and then more than happy to share the values list with you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. This has been, it hit me on so many levels. And so I thank you for the time. This has been Leadership Soundbites with RokoM Michele. Please like, share, subscribe, give us your ideas, thoughts, comments, whatever it is. Until next time, enjoy your day. Thank you.